Hi everybody, I'm Johanna Basford, illustrator and ink evangelist and maker of colouring books. In my video today, I'm going to take you behind the scenes in the studio and show you how I store all my colouring supplies. So I use this handy Ikea trolley and I have everything that I use very often on the top layer, occasionally in the middle layer, and the stuff that I hardly use at all right down at the bottom. Let me show you a little bit more. So up here on the top layer, I have all the things that I use every day. I have my Staedtler Tri Plus colour pens. I have my Tri Plus fine liners. I keep these all in separate cups so that I can quite easily find them. I have my colouring pencils, so these are some Norris colours and my favourites, the Ergo Softs. And lastly, I have just regular pencils for drawing, adding bits of graphite. Over here, we've got all the things that I use for special effects. So this is a little pot just full of Q-tips, cotton wool buds, cotton pads. I have some watercolor masking solution. Blending solution, this is the Zest-It one. And I also have the same one, but in the pot with a little sponge. Out the back here, there's some baby oil for blending, a tiny little can of hairspray for fixing things. These are blending pencils, burnisher pencils, also some blending stumps. I have a little jar just full of all my used scalpel blades. Here I have a wee pot just full of paintbrushes, so loads of different sizes, some older ones that I use for masking fluid, and a pen and ink pen. Here I have my pigment liners that I use for drawing. Here I've got some emery boards that I use for sharpening down my blending stumps, some extra little pencils, and lastly here I have a little pot just with the leads for my rotary pencil and my erasers. So in this middle section we have the things that I use fairly often but not every day. There is a big sheet of sandpaper for sharpening larger blending stumps. My watercolor palette. This is actually my gran's, so it's pretty old. It's seen a lot of service. A really nice compass that Staedtler sent me. Thank you very much. Some more pencils. This is my big stash of leads and extra pencils. I get through loads of these. I have some additional pigment liner sets at the back here. Also some tape. So these can be for things like wrapping up parcels, but also sticking together little sheets of paper to make one big sheet. Or for example, I might use this stuff. This is called stretching tape if I'm doing watercolor work or paint. Then over here I have a cloth and some baby wipes. I use these if I'm doing pastel work just to stop smudgy fingerprints. My other compass set. And lastly, a big tin full of lots of different kinds of pens. These ones are things that people have sent me. My friends get me them when they're on holiday. If we see a random pen, I will buy it. So they're all in there. And lastly, on the bottom tray, I've got my big tins of pencils and pastels. First up is the Staedtler Karat Aquarelle watercolor pencils. Then my Ergo Softs, the tin of 36. And finally, a big packet of Staedtler chalk pastels. I use these for blending backgrounds. So there you go, that's how I organise all my colouring supplies. I hope it's given you some ideas for how you might want to lay out your creative space. And don't forget, my new book, Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, is out in October, so it's just enough time to have a big tidy out, buy some new things and get ready for colouring. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.